Background music.
Good evening, FOF fans, and welcome back to Game 3 of the Heroic League, Day 1. We've got Universal Basic Income and Pentakill Teemo Please going head-to-head. My name's Rapterror, and joining me is the ever-lovely Theracles. How you doing, Theracles?
I am so good. I'm a little bit nervous. It's been the Day 1 premiere, and there's been a lot going on behind the scenes. I mean, it's as smooth as you think it is, but it's been a lot of fun, and honestly, being this long away from the fans has been killing me, so I'm glad we're here and we're back. And can I get a shout out for some of this fantastic production things going on with these graphics and stuff? I'm so proud of our team.
Yeah, no, they look so good. I'm loving these new graphics. And I'm even loving more is this first pick, Nocturne, that we just saw drop in the draft. Ooh, that's a nice one.
That is definitely interesting. I believe in qualifiers, Nocturne was banned away from YUBI a lot. So this is very, like, I don't really understand why. I don't know if he's a very high priority pick, but he's at least feared for it in the fact that nobody's really wanting to let him through.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if this is a jungle Nocturne or a mid Nocturne. We'll have to see what they pick out after that. Hecarim coming through, obviously going to be the jungle. I would expect then either Rel or Tristana here. They are the strongest champions in the meta right now, so I would presume we'd get one of those.
I believe so.
Yeah, getting a strong AD carry off the first round is always good, especially with Samir and Caitlyn already gone. Not too many of the super strong ones, but instead it's going to be a Karma.
That is interesting, but I think it's a good idea, right? I mean, between the Hecarim and then the speeder from the Karma, that's going to give you lots of engage potential. Not to mention, last season, Graviel played Hecarim so much. This is a champion that he's absolutely comfortable on, and I think the fact that he's just staying strong is just gotta be feeling so good for him that he's like, this is always going to be up, and this is something I just keep practicing and having so much fun. So
yeah, I'm excited to see how he does with it. He was already loving it last season. It's only gotten better since then. Waiting for the last pick here from Yumi. I'm wondering if they're going to grab their mid laner or their top laner here. I feel like if wherever one they grab right here will determine where this Nocturne goes. And with the Galio there, I'm going to presume then that this is indeed a jungle Nocturne.
I would believe so, especially, it would have been interesting to see it go mid. It could be a support though, right? It could be Tristana Galio bot if they wanted to.
That's true, yeah.
Nocturne with the dust play has been really good. It's been hard to try to slow down his pacing in the game, I think. And just really, I think that you also called the Tristana pick coming out really quick. And like with all the bans that have come through, the priority of the spot lane, it's kind of not surprising they would pick that up. What is surprising though is this Vayne pick. I mean, as far as like into Tristana, but on the flip side, Vayne last season was also an absolute monster to deal with.
Yeah, I mean it's in the name. It's its best champion, so. If he gets the chance to pick it, he'll pick it, even if it is going to be a very hard matchup. Tristana definitely outranges him, so he's going to have to try. If the Karma could be flex, that could be mid Karma, it could be top Karma, it could be support Karma. So we'll have to see where that goes. I'm going to take a guess, though, that it's going to be... I'm guessing it's going to be mid or support. I can't imagine it being top if you don't know what the rest of the composition is.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the enemy top laner is yet, like you don't want to throw a Karma top into a Renekton, you're just going to get trashed. Renekton actually hasn't been banned yet, so I'm surprised neither team has put much priority on that, considering how strong it is.
Yeah, and the other comment on that is I think Vayne is like the big 80 pickup right against the Nocturne. That's what I see a lot. But I think, you know, again with all these ban pressures in the bottom lane, I think that's the matchup we're going to be looking at. And I don't know, I feel like the Tristana Galio is going to have a very strong kill potential against this Vayne Karma. And I think that's something that PTP is definitely going to have to be aware of the player coming forward.
Yeah, and I'm still kind of trying to figure out what PTP's comp is right here. They grabbed the Nico, so it looks like they kind of want to do a team fight, but they're going to need something with a lot of heavy CC to really set up the Nico. If she just has her E as the only thing, or you have the Hecarim ult, it's not as reliable to hit. So there's going to be something that hard locks down the team for just a couple seconds to give her the time. Guessing maybe like a Malphite or something coming out. On the other side, we've got to be a Cho'Gath. That'd be really cool to see, a very beefy front line. But it's looking like it's going to be locked in. 2 seconds left on that, and it's going to be Kennen.
Oh, that was a really strange switch up I was not quite expecting. I was gonna say Vayne was looking in a really good spot as far as, you know, the targets to hit are pretty good that you can get through. Kennen's gonna be a little bit tricky, creating yet another barrier that Vayne's gonna have to play around, especially being probably the main damage source. I mean, Nico will do good amounts of burst, but I think it's not going to line up as much as they would like to. And now this Vayne has to get away from a Galio, Taunt, a Nocturne R, a Malachi Root R coming from a full lane's distance, and a Kennen flying at you. This is one hard matchup that I think it's going to be a lot of pressure on Vayne.
Yeah, but you know, the Kennen is going to need to get ahead if it wants to get anything done. And I know, I'm sure some people are surprised by seeing the Yorick, but if you haven't been keeping attention with the recent patches, Yorick got a bunch of changes lately, and he is a terrifying monster right now in the top lane. He's just so much damage with the minions, the E. Now, not only does it have the minions do 200% damage on hit when it lands, any graves that now spawn, it will automatically proc them and get those minions attacking too. So you basically get free poke in lane almost. And I think that actually, like, if he can hold the Kennen back, this might be a way for PTP to find a way into this game.
I could see that, yeah. And then kind of just, you know, our season 2 third place, we've got Pentakill Teemo coming in with this new lineup. I think there's too much pressure on Vayne that I think Yuumi has the better team comp in this. So I'm going to go ahead and give my vote to YUBI on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to give the same vote right there. I love the Yorick, but there's so much power in the Yuumi comp. That's a dive comp if I've ever seen one. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, I think this will be an exciting matchup to watch as we get on to the Rift for our third game of the day. Yuumi versus PTP.
Yeah, just kind of looking forward to what we already have here. I don't expect any level 1 shenanigans to happen here, but as I see that there's 3 people on the top side, so maybe they're just going for deep, or that's what I'm assuming. I don't think they want to fight.
Yeah, I don't think so, but on the bot lane, Vayne going on to Jeff in the bottom jungles, and the fight up top, Graviel and Utility Monster, just kind of trading back and forth. They're just kind of keeping an eye on each other, trying to force backs and maybe get a pick they can turn into an easy early objective. I think if I'm PTP, I want to get pure long. You need that Yorick to get a lead to keep the Kennen in check and draw the Nocturne up there. Because if Nocturne is allowed, like if his top lane is completely fine, he's going to spend a lot of time bot lane chasing down this Karma. And Vayne, she has a Q to get away, and that's really not that great of a disengage. She could try to use E to knock him back. though. Shield's too difficult. I really do think that PTP's focus should be on getting top ahead. But for YUBI, like I said, bot lane is the goal. Get that Tristana ahead, and she's gonna tear apart that Vayne. That's
true. And also, when we watched the qualifiers, I think a really good person to watch on YUBI's team is Jeff God Gamer. He performed really well, and honestly, I think it was one of the strongest AD carries that we got to see in all of qualifiers.
Yeah, I've been very impressed watching him play. I'm interested to see how he performs in this matchup. Vanel is one of the strongest AD carries in the league from previous seasons,
Definitely.
and on a signature champion, again, always something to be very mindful of. It's just a little bit of farm early on. I'm seeing the junglers looking just pretty standard on their clear. Actually, Nocturne, he's about on par. He went back to do Krug, so gonna be probably just a full clear from both these junglers. Nocturne really can't do anything until levels. Needs the ult for the good ganks, and Hecarim wants to make sure that he doesn't give any of that farm over to Nocturne. Don't want to let him get to that 6 any quicker.
For sure. And also kind of like what's going on, I think if I'm Hecarim, the best gank is probably going to be on top lane, right? Because you can spend the time mid, but I don't know if Hecarim Nico is really going to murder a Galio as quick as they want. And the Tristana jumps probably... Well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the Tristana would get away, but I think the Maokai would be a really good target too.
Yeah, and especially if he's still deathless. I mean, obviously the game just started, but that makes him just a juicy target for gold. He hasn't had his value decreased yet from multiple deaths, and you don't have to worry about any of that. So I could see them coming around, and you see it right now. Here comes the Hecarim going down into the bot lane. He's looking for the Maokai. Maokai knocks him up. Graviel getting kind of low, though. The Tristana jumping forward. Jeff looking for the kill onto Graviel, and he's just going to walk out there. No damage out there, but Freelance on the top side. Llama chasing him down with his little ghouls. Little cat ghouls, it looks like. Almost like pandas, almost.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting Oh, we got some action going on here.
Yeah, Vanel doing a good trade onto Brian, getting a little bit back from Jeff. Pretty standard. They have to kind of back off there. Triss the only one in a healthy position out of all 4 of them. But we're seeing the Nocturne. He's invading on the top side, getting that jungle. We saw the Hecarim go bot, so he knows, hey, I've got some free camps to clear up here. Even if he's taking them, the Raptors will be back. And he's grabbing those right now. But I think he's been spotted out by PTP. Now, I want to talk about this top lane matchup, though. I want to talk about this Yorick. I want to talk about this Kennen. I want to talk about what build path you think this Yorick's going to go. We don't see him very often, so I'm not exactly sure what a Yorick's build path is.
I'm not 100% either, but what I would imagine is probably standard would probably be the Triforce, and as I'm talking, we have more action.
Yeah, Graviel just gonna do a light pass through the mid lane. A light knee with his little horse hooves.
Yeah. I don't know, I was expecting more there, and I don't totally know why. I guess early game Hecarim's just not...
Ooh, Llama, though, going on to Freelance. Freelance getting so low, but here's utility. He's trying to get out flash burn from both top laners. And they both can get out safely. Freeze got to be careful of those minis, though. They do hurt. And they're going to back off. Probably a teleport burn from both.
Yeah, I kind of like that there. This seemed worth it. This seemed a lot more calculated on the top side in this exchange than we saw on the bottom. Freelancer was definitely in trouble, and Utility Monster bailed him out, and then forced the flash from Pure Llama. And I really like that Pure Llama didn't greed for it and kind of let it go. As opposed to what we kind of saw earlier with the Hecarim gank in the bottom, I felt like after Hecarim used Ghost, it was very, very forced and didn't need to happen. And then on the flip side, also the Tristana jumping in seemed a little questionable, as they already traded a very valuable summoner from the Hecarim for... We didn't really get much out of it and had to burn heal on the side of Tristana. So definitely, I think it's been very different mechanic skills so far on the 2 different sides of the map.
That minion jump range is absolutely insane for Yorick. It's got to be careful. It is basically like you're playing against a ranged champion almost when that E is up. Just toss it and you get hit from almost across the lane. But the game's kind of settled into a nice farming pattern. I don't see much more crazy action going on for the next couple minutes. Everyone trying to get to 6 as quickly as they can. There's an Infernal Drake up, probably the best individual Drake you can get. And I would expect probably in the next minute and a half, 2 minutes or so, we're going to see a fight around that objective.
Yeah, I would definitely predict that too. And kind of as you brought it up, I thought it was kind of a funny image of, how Yorick's just tossing things across lane. We've also got Maokai doing that, so this weird like snowball of miniature creature fight happening, which is absolutely hilarious in my mind. But specifically on your point about the dragon coming up soon, it's going to be an Infernal, which I think would be very, very valuable to the side of PTP. It's really going to give again, all the pressure coming off on Vaniel for the damage, it's going to help with that a lot.
Yeah, and I think it'll also help a lot with the Nico burst. Nico needs to really, she's kind of stat checks with the ult. It's, did I burst you with it? Cool. Did I not? Okay, well, I'm probably dead. So any little bit of extra damage she can get to guarantee that she blows up a target or the multiple targets with the ult is always good to have. You see the Nocturne roaming down here, getting the Scuttle, looking like he is going to start setting up for this Dragon. YUBI pushing it in, and they're going to rotate over. I think they're going to start this up. Yeah, Galio's coming down too.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this is well played. I don't know if it was on purpose by PTP or if it was a misstep, but the fact that Vayne was kind of playing it back, just having to play safe in the early part of the game, and then that minion wave building up, Vayne's been CSing very well and keeping it up, but just kind of based off that decision, that gave so much more priority for YUBI to just come in and be like, okay, if you want to stay at tower, fine. We're going to go take this objective without being contested at all then. So.
Yeah, and there's no reason for either AD carry to really be that aggressive in this lane. Like, they're both late game hyper carries. You're just kind of farming it out. You don't want to do any, like, try to make a risky play that upsets the balance. You just want to take it nice and slow, and that's what they're doing right now. The Karma and the Maokai are really good at dissuading any heavy engage from coming through right there. To see PTP responding on the top side with that Rift Herald, I would imagine the Hecarim's going to grab it, maybe try to knock a plate in top lane. That is the lane they've had the most pressure in, but nothing really that low enough to justify spending too much time there for a turret. Yeah. Let's see, Tristana staying around a little bit. Almost probably has enough gold to back up. I want to see what her gold's at right now. I assume she's almost got enough to get her full item, or at least she will in the next wave or so. But... ooh, Invade on the top side, getting that blue buff. Nocturne is coming over, though, and is the Galio. I think they know something's up here. But they're just going to kind of back out of it. I think they're just kind of waiting in case someone walks through. And Pure and Freelance keeping it up. I think the Hecarim is considering going up there, but here comes the Nocturne. He has been spotted going over right there. There's Freelance going in onto Graviel, but he's just going to use that speed to get out of there. Not try to pick a fight right now. He knows the Yorick is behind him, and they do not know where the Nico is.
Yeah, that's a very good point. But despite the fact of Nocturne still, missing out on the blue buff, the pathing for Utility Monster has been very good. He's been in the right places. Again, he bailed on his top laner earlier, and he's up like a 14 CS. So he's been getting the gold to keep in the game, especially off the scuttle crab he's been picking up. So I think it's really going to accelerate if he wants to go with the Deathblade path. He can really start to be blowing up these characters very soon, especially probably around the next dragon fight is when I would predict to see a really good, double, maybe even triple kill coming from the utility monster.
Yeah, and he's almost got his blade done. I think he's actually going Gorge Drinker, it looks like, if I remember the build path right for that item. Yeah, so he's going to try to be kind of a bit more brawly, less of an assassin. Makes sense. There's not really targets that he can just immediately nuke. Even the Vayne, it's going to have a Karma Shield on her for the most part. So, smart decision. Be a little bit more useful in the fight. Keep more pressure off. Give it a little bit more time for your AD carry and maybe even your Kennen to stay alive and get their damage out. So good decision there, as here comes a Nocturne ultimate right onto the Nico. Nico has to flash out. Galio coming in too. Nico using the ult to get out, but there's 3 people here. Maokai grabs her, and down goes first blood for the Galio onto the Nico. Tristana going forward too. She's looking for more. Jeff takes out Karma. And here comes the Hecarim Horsko Burr, as he's now trying to get out. He's realizing he bit off a little bit more than he can chew. He goes down too, and it's a 4th kill. 4 for nothing for YUBI. And it looks like a tower too. That
was really well done. I really appreciate the trigger ploy. That was one thing after another. There was a pathing mishap, and they were on it. Like, literally, the Nocturne was like, I'm going, and then as soon as that hit, then the Galio followed up. That was really good coordination, and honestly, again, YUBI being a new team, this is really exciting to see come out of it, and really sets up a lot of the expectations for the rest of the team.
Yeah, and I thought that it was going to end after the first kill. I thought it'd be even done after the second, but they just kept going. PTP looking for more, trying to get something back there. But it felt a little bit desperate on their part, just getting really worried that, hey, we just gave some kills over. We can't, they might get a lead out of that, got to get out. And actually looking at that Nocturne, by the way, on that build, it's not going to be a Core Drinker. It is going to be Stridebreaker for him.
Okay.
So this might be a tank nocturne we actually see today. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't be totally opposed to it. But yeah, again, like I said, Jeff Godgamer is really playing aggressively. He's really not afraid to jump into these fights, and like, especially like with the ult coming through. I think the thought when Karma got knocked away is to stop her from being in range to shield or something.
Oh,
But
hang on.
Still...
Utility Monster, he's gonna get out. He's fine.
Yeah. It's good. I mean, I really like, you know, despite being behind. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, Vanel taking a big shot to the face, but it's going to be a smite right there. Utility Monster picks him up. He walked a little bit too far forward there, not really realizing the enemy KD carry was there. And it looks like YUBI is going to grab their second Drake of the game on that Ocean. Have to see if it's Mountain or Cloud that comes out afterwards.
I would imagine. Yeah. My thing I was literally about to say is, despite being behind, I like that PTP was looking to make a play there. But it seems like the rotation was just a little bit off, and they got punished for that. And for that, YUBI's just picking up on all these kind of misplays, these small ones, and just really taking it to the next level. Picking up their second Dragon, sitting at 5-0. They're playing this very well. It's looking very clean from there on their first day here.
Yeah, and if you're YUBI, honestly, I don't think there's a Dragon you want more than the Cloud Drake. Get a Kennen ult off, go flying at them. Get a Nocturne off, go flying at them. Just so much movement speed comes out of that soul, and might be some more coming out of right here. Nope, Jeff gonna walk out there as things cool down a little bit. But yeah, the Cloud Soul, so powerful for that team. But for PTP, like, you have the Hecarim ult, maybe you'll get it out of the Vayne. The rest of them really don't have ults that you really use quickly in combat that you'll need the movement speed, except maybe the Karma. I could see that working for her, and it's got a low enough cooldown. But the Nico, she's going to ult herself in place. Speed means nothing. You're just there just to drop on them.
I think it would be good just on the side of Anal, just, you know, being able to kite all these targets trying to jump at you very quickly. But other than that, I think that would be a very, very correct assessment. And I think that they just need to find a way to slow this game down and catch up in some way. And I'm hoping some of these towers will do that for them. Just on, like, looking at some of the items and stuff, we're seeing that on YUBI, almost everybody is either has or almost has completed their mythic items. While on the side of PTP, I think the Yorick literally just picked that up just like a moment ago. So they're delaying in these power spikes, and if YUBI wants to just keep accelerating and keeping their foot on the gas on this, that would be what.
Ooh,
and I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, it's going to be looking like a kill in the bot lane. A flash goes out from the Yorick, but he's going to get stunned up by Freelance. Pure Llama still trying to run away. He's trying to use his E to get out, but it's not going to be enough. Freelance takes him down. 3 ults for that. I'm not sure if it was quite worth it, but they did get the flash out. They did get a kill, and now they're going to try to get this mid turret. Just Vanel here to defend it. Here comes Rat to help him out, trying to get something, but they got to be careful. If they get taunted, they could be their lives. They're going to back off that. I think the turret's going down here. Yeah, it's going to go down. Another turret down for YUBI. They've now taken all of the outer turrets. Now they're starting to... The coils are starting to close around on PTP.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can definitely see what you're saying as far as, like, the ultimates being burned. It seems like they did use a lot of resources. But honestly, I feel like if this is the way they want to play it, it's a little weird. But they have the power spike to be able to do that. They could burn the 3 ults, and if they take out a high priority damage dealer, I don't think there's much that PTP can respond to. Like, even though they're down, if they're still just stats wise much stronger, that it would have to be like a very big, like, mechanical misplay, I think.
Yeah.
And off of that, again, they picked up another objective. So again, they're really just controlling the pace of this game really well.
Yeah, very good to see. We saw this last season too. Our heroic teams put in surprisingly good. Like, you wouldn't expect this for gold under teams, but their macro is actually can be very impressive from some of these teams. You'd be showing a lot of potential here. Some very smart macro plays. I have to ask though, for if you're PTP, you're down 5k at 16 minutes. You don't have any kills on the board. You've given up 2 dragons. What do you think is the play here? Besides just slowing the game down, where do you think they look to try to get some gold back, to try to maybe make a play?
I think what I would do is I would start to look at timers and objectives and start to kind of figure out a plan from there. Knowing that Cloud Drake is in a minute, we need to be setting up vision in a way that makes sense, because the thing that that's being fallen into already.
Llama going in right there, but here comes the ult. Nico getting hit. She gets the ult down, but here comes the Nocturne flying all the way to the back. Jeff God takes out Carrots, and now he's going forward. He wants more. Rat goes down too. It's a double kill for the Tristana. Vanal and Graviel get out, but that's going to be a dragon in just about 37 seconds. They'll be back up for it, but I don't think they can contest at this point. And actually, they're going to go try to get this tower in the mid lane. See if the fight keeps going here. Herald going to crash. It's not going to get the turret off the bat. Not enough damage. But they're just going to clear the minion waves and back off. Beautiful execution in that fight.
Yeah, definitely. I really like what was going on there. They saw a fight that they could turn, and also some really good damage trading up on the top that really stopped any type of TP from being able to interact with the fight that was going on in Minute Hall. And just knowing that I feel like the success they're having is really just coming from being able to track where people are, and then being able to capitalize on these huge range ultimates from Civlock and Utility Monster. It's just really good execution, and knowing that they're going to go for the third dragon, it seems like PTP's here and kind of pulling out the desperation.
Yeah, and PTP already getting low, just coming into the pit. They're looking for something here, going in to get it. No, the Galio is going to get it, and they're going to take out the Hecarim. There goes another one. Vayne going down too. They're trying to get away. Carrots on the run. So is Rat, and so is that Nice, but unfortunately unable to grab anything. Yorick, 2 for nothing, and a Drake over to YUBI.
Yeah. And also sitting 10-0, the gold lead is just becoming more and more unmanageable. With your question as far as like what the play is now, I feel like there is almost nothing that really is going to happen unless YUBI makes a really catastrophic mistake, maybe like a Baron pit or something. That'd be what they're looking to do. But I feel like at this point, they don't even need resources that we're about to see. Like, I think this person can just get gunned down.
That was a beautiful W from Llama, just catching the freelance in the middle of his ult, unable to do anything. Here comes Rat, though, looking like they might try to get a flank here. Free doesn't know. He's pushing a little far forward, and here comes Graviel, too. He's on the run. The horse goes in. He gets the ult in, but here comes the Galio. They're going to stay a little bit too long. There goes the Galio forward. Nocturne coming in, too. It's 1 kill. It's 2. Make that 3. Over to YUBI, a double kill for the Nocturne as triple kill actually for Utility Monster.
I just want to say that I called that. I told you these giant plays were going to come through from Utility Monster start getting these massive kills. And again, I think it was just because PTP is trying to force something out of desperation, and we're not sure where Galio and Utility Monster are again, and they just literally come flying in off, from outer space at this point, because we don't know.
Oh yeah, and Utility Monster going to take out Vanal right here too. He gets stunned back. Maokai pushing him forward, and the Maokai is going to take the kill, get himself on the board. The only person to not have a death or a kill until this point. And the gold lead now ballooning over almost to 10,000, probably about 9, a little bit over 9,000 right now. And another turret going down for YUBI. They're really putting a stranglehold on this game, and I think they're going to close it out soon unless PTP can find that pick. There are some juicy bounty targets on the side of YUBI to look for.
That would be really interesting, and I would love to see something like that happen. As far as like for the show, I'm not very convinced that it will. But I guess kind of like something that would be kind of interesting to talk about, though, is this Maokai pick. Being support. It's definitely something we've seen come out, especially with the command banner. Do you think that's something we might be seeing more of in this season?
I know it's been strong, but I'm a little unsure of it. I think it depends on the matchup. Like, it works into enchanters because, you're just both poking, and your poke damage is pretty reliable, and you can kind of shift into tank a little bit, like an AEP, like bruiser support. I don't think it works quite as well into tanks like Leona or Rel that can get on you and like just kind of keep you in place and lock you down, because you're not very tanky. So like if you get dived on, you're basically dead. But in the case like this, I think so. Yeah, we might see it more often. That also could just be a pocket pick that we see for YUBI. I don't actually see it too much in solo queue myself.
Okay. I could see that. Now, it seems like we're going to start moving over to the path of vision control. And I feel like this is kind of strange. I mean, Utility Monster's still kind of in range that he could get to that, but we've got Kennen far away, also sitting on teleport, so just the range that Yubi's able to control this pace is also still really good. And they're managing the waves in a way that they're going to find something.
Yeah, and they might find it right here. Nocturne going in, grabs one. Utility Monster is dominating the flash out from the Yorick, and that's going to be Baron right there. They are almost certainly going over. It's clearing the wards, everyone heading over. The Kennen still minting pressure on the bot lane, drawing attention. The Hecarim going onto him right now, though, pushing him back into the turret. Gets the ult down. They might grab this Kennen, but they're going to lose out. Ooh, the Zhonya's comes out. Nico ult not going through. Freelance trying to get away. He's, oh my god, is he actually? No, he gets away. Oh my god, Freelance. What a beautiful escape. The man pulls off the heist, and Yubi's gonna steal a Baron for themselves uncontested. Absolutely beautiful play right there.
That's an absolute legend right there. I would like to imagine in comms that his team was saying something along the lines of, if you ruin our perfect game, you're off the team. You know, like that.
How could you die? What are their cats that have to end it with meow? How could you die, meow?
Yeah.
little cat, aggressive cat noises, little hissing.
We appreciate you trying to sacrifice for it, but it's just not worth it.
Yeah, fourth dragon up here right now. This is going to be PTP. I think it's their last anti. They've got to get something. Yorick grabbing a hit onto the Maokai right there. As they're getting pushed off, the dragon is started up. Jeff getting quite a bit of damage onto it right now. Pure on the backline, the Mist Maiden comes up. Carrot's looking to get an ult right here. Oh, gets the Q out, not going to hit anybody with it. Everyone just kind of backs off away from this dragon. Dragon going, oh, okay, I guess I'm just going to reset. Bye, friends. But back on it now, and I think PTP's just going to give it up for free. They're not even going to contest this now.
Yeah, I kind of like that they were starting to do, but they were so widespread across that blue buff wall. I mean, it's a very big wall, and when a fight breaks out, if you're on the back side of that, I don't know exactly how much help you're going to be to that kind of fight. So I think that's ultimately kind of what led to that there. And
one more grave?
I'm actually kind of surprised. I thought they had a good position there. Whenever all of Yuumi was in the bush, Carrots was in a good position. He could have flash ulted and hit 5 people. He literally could have hit their entire team with it. And yeah, everyone was a little bit out of position, but I think the Hecarim could have gotten there in time with an ult. They probably could have picked off Jeff in that. But, you know, I guess it makes sense. You don't want to give that up and then just give up the game and the dragon. So I guess it worked out. I kind of hoping that they could maybe at least get 1 kill, not get perfect gamed here. But it's looking a little dicey right now as Freelance goes bottom, clears that out, looking to grab that bottom turret, looking to start putting the stranglehold on this base and start putting an end to this game. Bottom inner turret is going to go out, and now 2 Nexus inhibitor turrets, are under fire.
Yeah, and I think what is like showing through with YUBI, again, which is the coordination stuff, I think it's because they play together so much. Like, literally, in registration, they don't even have a sub. So, while some teams, you know, you play together so much, and, like, you have your subs and stuff, they don't even have that as an option. They're like, it's us 5. We are just that committed to us playing together and being this clean. And I think that's honestly just coming through. These results are undeniable.
Yeah, and it's also undeniable that they're probably going to grab this second inhibitor turret, too. The Mist Maiden comes out. Not going to really do much. Pure taking a little bit of shots on the back line. Let's see if Yuumi sticks around for this extra inhibitor. Silver gets locked down, but there goes the Nocturne. He's so deep right now. Utility Monster goes into the Zhonya's to get out. Jeff goes unstoppable onto the Nico. And they're going to try to grab Graviel down. Freelance gets a killing spree. He grabs another with Galio. That's going to be a 3rd kill. That's 4 kills total, and that's going to be the game. YUBI completing the perfect game right now. Unless Utility dies right here, but I think that's the end of it right there. They're just gonna cut away. Here, Llama, come on, can you hold it? Can you use that maiden and those ghouls? Oh, it looks like they might get pressured off. No, the Mist Maiden's down. They're pushing forward the minion. They're pushing onto this turret, and down goes 1, down goes 2, and YUBI is going to take their first game of the Heroic League, their first game of the season, and advance to 1-0 over PTP.
Wow, that was a a game. I don't want to say like it's exciting in the fact, you know, not in exactly the score, but just the showing that happened, the coordination, the plan they came in with was very well executed, and it just shows. I mean, they got a perfect game, like you said, all the dragons at a Baron. They've closed that game out near like what I expect for our mythic level team.
Yeah, that is. If there's anything like a statement game you could make coming into the league to say, I'm here, what's up, it's this game. Perfect game. Absolute monster performance by everyone on the team against a team that has played together. We've seen them play together in previous seasons in this league. We've seen them do successfully. That's on. It's very impressive, honestly. I'm very excited watching our new teams that coming in. I think they're very, very talented. They could make quite some noise.
I could not deny that, and honestly, they seem so much different than qualifiers. Like, they were good. They lost in the first day of qualifiers against FEC, the team that played in the first match, and they lost 2-0 or 0-2. But then in the second day, they also came in the round robin series and won 2-0 against both the other teams that were competing there. So honestly, this is starting to see maybe like their first day was nerves or something, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing, and I'm really excited to see these next matches and how it progresses over this long format of a tournament.
Yeah, and with that, we're going to throw it back over for a short break, but we'll be right back with an interview for you all.
Alrighty, so that was certainly a game. Welcome to the interview. I am Sharigan, and I have with me Utility Monster, YUBI's Jungler. How are you doing, Utility Monster?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I am very hyped after that match. That was so before we get into the questions, can you just give me a brief history of who this Universal Basic Income is? Like, where did you guys come from?
Sure. So most of the team went to college together. Most of us graduated in like 2016 and roughly, and we've just sort of been playing League of Legends since, off and on. Doing clashes together, playing a bunch of normals together, and finally the five of us said that we been playing together long enough. We wanted to try sort of a recreational league, so we looked around and found Friend or Foe.
And how did you come up with the Universal Basic Income?
So we've had a history of Yumi-themed team names because our support really liked Yumi, and I famously never let him play it and pick or ban. So we have a lot of Yumi names, and this was the best one we could come up with for an ongoing team name.
So that you're telling me that's as close as we're ever going to get to seeing him on a Yumi.
That is, well, maybe if we clinch a spot in playoffs, we can do some Yumi games.
You'll let him do some Yumi. Okay.
Yeah.
So with that though, I do have to tell you that was actually the first ever perfect game in Friend or Foe. We have not had one since we started this at the beginning of 2020. So with that in mind, how do you feel playing against the old guard of the Friend or Foe series?
Yeah, well, it was definitely a good first game for us, I think. I mean, we played pretty well. They seem like they are a pretty coordinated team. I mean, their pregame banter is hilarious, so hopefully they can translate that to some in-game success soon. I felt like we just really were all firing on all cylinders today, and so yeah, I don't think that we can. Well, hopefully we can improve, but I don't think we could have played much better on the day.
So did you actually have a plan going in? Like, did you do some research and kind of have a general idea of who Pentakill Timo Please was?
Yeah, so we looked up all of their match histories. We tried and take away some of their more comfortable picks, some of the picks that we thought could solid a game. We thought that we were a strong enough team that we could win early and translate that into momentum going throughout the game. Then we just picked sort of a pretty aggressive team to take advantage of that, and I think that we succeeded.
You certainly succeeded. Yeah, absolutely. Was there even any point that you actually thought you were going to get taken down?
So there were, I think, 3 times someone was close to death. We had Carver on the cannon twice, sort of getting caught out. He lucked out in the side lane despite failing his flash while we were doing Baron, and managed to just barely eke out and survive. And then in top lane, I think a little bit before that, he'd also gotten engaged on, and we managed to use our globals to save him. And then at the end of the game, I was very low HP, and I was doing my best to die to Fountain just to prove a point, but my team ended the game too quickly, so I couldn't get it in.
That's true. You don't happen to have a pucker factor number for that, do you?
I don't think so, no.
No, okay. All right, well, Utility Monster, thank you so much. That was an absolutely fantastic showing. We look forward to seeing the rest of your matches. Like, I am totally on board with this. I got to watch your qualifier, the first one. I was like, wow, these guys are really good. Like, you against FCC, that was really intense both ways. And so I can't wait to see what you have next.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll be right back in the FOF Lounge.
What makes you an exception?
Hello, 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 and welcome to the FOF Lounge.
Yay.
Once again, you got Sharogan here, got Beanjar and Edwin.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, how was that last match?
That was an interesting match.
I think it's very clear right off the bat that we need to watch out for these new teams.
Clean, crisp.
Yeah, that was so it's I mentioned it in the interview, but we got to bring it up here. That was the first ever perfect game. We have not had a perfect game at all this entire series.
Yeah, it looks like Heroic now has like a big competition there in the future.
See, and that's the thing. This is our Heroic League. This isn't even our Mythics teams. Like, these aren't the guys who are the Plat 1 and up, the Challenger players and whatnot. So like, we often see these games turned into much more fiestas, right? So we're so used to seeing them being these huge team fights. So to see a team like YUBI come in with clean macro play that just overall swept over PTP, like I honestly, like, I want to find out what PTP is thinking now, because I'm sure they've had their bell rung and they're kind of like, whoa, what's going on here? So with that, Edwin, I got to go to you for this, because your rankings didn't have YUBI placed very high.
No, it didn't actually. I ranked them number 7 in the whole entire league. And honestly, I kind of gave the previous players who were played last season, top 4. But now I got to make some big changes. YUBI, man, you guys really killed it out there. I'm really surprised at how well you guys played. And honestly, I'm really glad that y'all in the season now, because you guys are really going to make this league really strong. And this is wait till next week for the new rankings. I'm definitely going to make some big changes.
Yeah, I saw. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead, Beanjar.
Okay, no. I saw pretty early. I was like, 10 minutes into the game, there's not a single kill. Something must be wrong. And I think maybe YUBI was playing towards that. But towards the 11-minute, immediately 4 kills to go. And I feel like their head's in the right space as far as team communication goes. Because if they're going for a play, they're going for it together. They commit together, no man left behind. However, maybe they need to figure out this macro play of where you want to go when you want to do it. And if a fight is lost, maybe you should just cut it off at the bud and okay, he's gone. We're not going to die too.
Yeah, no, and the overall team play has honestly it's skyrocketed, and that's one of the things we've always seen with our Heroic team. So the last 2 seasons, the Heroic teams always started off as kind of a little bit there's not putting anybody down, but a little bit of a chaotic mess where they were just going for kills, going for fights that they didn't need to be going for, trying to fight for contest objectives that they didn't need to be contesting. In the meantime, YUBI has come in and they have basically said, hey, we're going to focus on being a team first. And that was what they did. So their growth potential, I have a feeling we might see them able to break into Mythic next season.
I'm raising some red flags. They should be in Mythic right now. They're how you have the little children that'll stack on each other's shoulders and put on a trench coat and it's yes, I am adult. Please let me into movie theater. That's what I'm thinking right now.
That's what you think, that they're the kids in the trench coat right now?
Yes, trench coat team.
We've got 3 dwarfs in a trench coat. All right.
Honestly, they just look like a Mythic team.
Yeah, they absolutely clean. I'd love to keep going into this, but I have nothing else really to say at the moment. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that VOD and try and come up with something, because it's just there's so much to analyze in this game.
Good play.
Yeah. All right, and with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break, and it was going to be the last game of the night. We've got Team BBZ up against Team, I believe it was Sword?
Team Sword, yes, sir.
Team Sword. Yeah, BBZ versus Team Sword. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take that quick break. Edwin, Beanjar, greatly appreciate you guys being here.
Hey.
Stick around, guys. We'll be right back.